3, 2, 1.
All right. Hi, everyone. Can you hear me clearly? Please give me a thumbs up in the box chat if you need me to change anything, or if you're not hearing me properly, or if you just want to communicate. Victoria, you have to check my chat box for me and get back to me, please.
Yep, everybody seems to be good. Yeah.
All right, and then we can move on, right?
Yeah.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Feishola Adeyemi. I'm the founder and creative director of Luxury by Feyi brand. Luxury by Feyi brand specialize in women couture, and we specialize in high end, and we launched in 2014. So within the short period of 2014 and now, we're going to be 6 years very soon. But I'll still stick with 5 because we're still 5. We're not there yet. I think that will be in September, will be 6. So within the period of 2014 till now, we've been able to achieve so much that we didn't even imagine ourselves we could do within that short period. And I'm here today to give you the do's and don'ts on how you too can achieve that for your fashion brand or any brand you're trying to put together. But mainly, I think my main focus is for the fashion brand, to be honest. And I'm here to give you some tips on do's and don'ts on how you can achieve that and even more successful than I am today. But the difference there is you are going to use the do's and don'ts to get there faster in a very shorter period than my brand did. Because it took me some time, to be honest, to achieve this. But with the tips I'll be giving, I'll be sharing with you now, it might probably take you lesser. Instead of taking you maybe 2-3 years, it will take you lesser, maybe like 6, 5, if you follow the rules and regulation right. So that's why we are here today. So moving forward, I think this program is for the new designer, and or if you're still thinking of starting, you are not there yet, you don't know how to get there, but you still thinking, oh, how do I do this? Or you are there already and you are struggling, or you are there, you are not really struggling, but you want to take your brand to the next level. So I think you're on the right track by joining us. So let's get started. Like I said, I'm going to give you some do's and don'ts. So what we are going to cover today, I think I've broken it down into 3 parts. So let me just read this out to you. Things we're going to cover today. Number 1, how to stop being an ordinary fashion designer or just another clothing brand and develop your own high-end fashion brand. I keep using high-end because we specialize in high-end. This could work for any brand, any fashion brand. It could be high-end, it could be the lower brand, it could be the casual brand, but fashion brand, to be honest. So that's number 1, how to take your fashion brand to the next level, to stop being just an ordinary brand. Then number 2, how to craft your signature looks so that you can take your brand or your design from black to brilliant and become the can't live without designer for celebrity, stylists, and fashion, VIP clients. Then the 3rd one would be the secret of getting booked in magazines like Vogue, Glamour, Gracia, and all that. Then you need to know you have to know you have to have the knowledge of the inside, how the fashion industry works. So that's what I'll be breaking down for you today, and I'll be giving you the do's and don'ts on that to achieve that. So let's get into it. I'm going to start with the don'ts that you can avoid. Not that you can avoid, that you are going to avoid, because you have to avoid them because they are don'ts. So I will start with mistake number 1. Come on, Vicky, move on to mistake number 1. Yes. Mistake number 1, lack of creativity, originality, and quality that sets your brand apart from other designer. This is all about originality. It's very simple and straightforward. You need to be different. You need to be unique. You need to be original. You don't have to copy. I think I need to emphasize that. It's a necessity for you not to copy, for you to be original, for you to be different, for you to be unique, for you to create something, to make something out of nothing. You need to learn how to turn a story to a product, like a concept to a product. You need to be unique. You need to be your own voice. You need to be free. You need to be free. You need to be your own voice. Don't be scared to take risks, because fashion itself is all about taking creativity risks. So you need to be free. You need to be your own voice. You need to be yourself. You need to be true to yourself. It's okay to be unique. It's okay to be different. It's okay for people not to get what you are actually doing. But I think it's your job for you to make them understand what you're actually doing or who you are. So number 1 is all about originality. Please, Vicky, can you move on to the next page, please? Okay. So breaking down the originality, we have 3 key points there. The first one is your signature theme. The second, creative direction. And the third is the design. When we talk about signature theme is all about your look. It's about your identity. For example, seeing a design out. Let me use a Chanel design, for example. You getting to see a Chanel design or Chanel dress or a Chanel top and skirt. You will be able, if you have an eye for fashion, you'll be able to identify that this is Chanel without even checking the label. So your identity should speak for you, even before people checking the label or asking about the owner of the design. So you need to create identity for yourself. It's very, very, very important. Identity is the key in the fashion industry. And this is, I'm looking for the simplest word to use for it. Because without your brand identity, you will be lost and you will know where you fit in. So you need an identity for your brand. You need to tell your own story. Don't let anybody tell it for you. And identity is about your vision, how you want people to see your brand, how you want it to be seen, and how you want it to be known. That's your signature theme, and you need to be consistent with it. They need to know that this, coming from far, they need to know that this is your brand. And you need to be consistent. Then moving forward is creative direction. Creative direction is all about your story and how you want to position your story. That's all about creative direction. You need to be able to have a story behind your brand. What story are you telling? Or what story do you want to tell? What story are you giving people? What story do you want your brand to be known for? So creative direction should be about your story, your brand story, and how you're going to position it. You might have a good story, but how to get it positioned is another thing. So if you don't position it well, you're going to struggle with it. So that's part of the don'ts. Let me give you an example of that. I deal with luxury, and I'm trying to position my brand for the high-end people to associate and identify with it that this is luxury. I need to position it in a luxury way, in the sense that where my brand is going to be seen, the cheapest product from Nursery by Feyi is £1,000, and I want to stock it in a store. I can't just take it to a Prima store or a Zara store that I know they sell like £50, £100 dress. It's not positioning my brand well. And I want to showcase I want to go on a runway. I need to find a right fashion show that showcase high-end brand. Not the one that showcase like maybe like £100 dress. That doesn't speak well or doesn't suit my brand. That doesn't sit well with my brand. So you need to position your brand well with the story. The story and the positioning has to match. It has to fit. It has to go together with each other. And the last one will be the design. The story and the positioning of your brand must go with the design as well. The story you are trying to tell out must show in your design. For example, if you want to be known for, let's say you want to be known for a plus size brand, then when you are creating your design, you need to have that in mind or put that into consideration that you are doing this for a plus size people, for plus size people, and you want your brand to be known for plus size. If you want your brand to be known for maybe just one dress size that anybody can fit in, whether you are size 2, whether you are size 10, whether you are size 20. So when you're creating your design, you must put that into consideration as well. Or if you want your dress to be known for, your brand to be known for, oh, she's a go-to when it comes to red carpet, or when it comes to an highly classy event, then when creating your design, you need to put that into consideration of what kind of design you are going to create. So that's it for the design. Next page, please. So creating your brand, creating a unique brand with seat. Victoria, I can't really see this is my video. Okay, I think I'm good now. Creating a unique brand with a signature theme. Was propelled by fashion business to the next level, which makes sense, because if you don't create your own signature theme, I don't think you're going to find your place in the fashion industry. You're going to struggle with it. It's going to be a struggle. So for you to avoid that, you need to have a team. So the second mistake, which is the don't, that you should avoid when building a brand, a fashion brand, is lack of understanding on how the luxury fashion industry works. It could be the luxury, it could be the just normal fashion industry. Don't forget, I'm using the luxury because I specialize in luxury. You need to know inside out how this works. You need to make your research before starting up. Even if you don't make your research before starting up, it's not too late for you. If you are in the process now, you're in the business, it's never too late for you to go back and make your research and know how the fashion industry really works before you can know your place, before you can know where you want to fit in, and before your vision, you can really bring out your vision, and before you can get the visibility. So let me use this example for you. It's just like you want to prepare in, I know Nigerian jollof rice is very popular, so I will use that as an example for you. It's like you want to prepare a tasty Nigerian jollof rice, and you have no idea the ingredients to use to prepare the jollof rice. You can never get it right. It can never be tasty after cooking. So you need to make your research. The first thing you do is to go online and Google it out. What ingredients will I be using for this jollof rice to make it really, really tasty and come out nice? That exactly work in the fashion industry. Even if you don't know the full insight, but you still need to ask questions. You still need to make your research about the basic of how the fashion industry works, to avoid a huge mistake and to avoid your brand being dragging. Because if you don't have any knowledge, or if you don't understand how it works, instead of your brand, maybe instead of you doing a concept that will take you maybe like 2-3 months. But because you don't have the knowledge, it's going to take you maybe like a year or two, which is going to put your brand backward. So that's not good. Move on, please. So to get into the glossary, okay. So right now, I know you guys are ready to learn 1 or 2 things on how to avoid that, to avoid your don'ts. So we will be covering that as well. But I need to finish with the don'ts first before I go to the do's. So next page, please. Learning the luxury fashion industry took many years, but once I understood it, I was able to break through many doors. The best investment you could make is understanding the fashion industry and mastering it. It's very important. After understanding it, you need to master it as well. You need to put it into practice. You need to know how to walk around it. One thing is for you to understand it, to learn and understand it. And another thing is for you to master it. Do not make that mistake. That works together, because learning it without putting it into practice is just like a waste, and you are wasting your time. That won't get you anywhere. So you need to learn it and you need to master it as well. Go on, please. So mistake number 3, which is part of the don't that you need to avoid, is not being visible to your ideal customer. If you're not visible to your ideal customer and your audience, you can't make any sales. You can't even grow apart from sales. People won't even know you. You just be struggling and you will just be stuck at a stage. You won't grow. You won't move forward. So getting visibility is all about packaging. You need to do the right packaging for your brand. Just like I said, let me use my brand for an example. I deal with luxury and I need to get my ideal client. I need to channel my energy to maybe like middle class earner, from middle class earner to the higher class earner, because that's where I'm going to get my ideal customer. And for me to do this, for me to be able to attract the middle class and the higher high-end earner, I need to position my brand on how to attract them. So, and all this depend on how you're going to package your brand. But going back to the story of your brand, what story do you want your brand to tell? So all this deal with your brand story. How do you want to position the story again? So you need to put all this right together. And you cannot sell your design if your buyers don't know you. That's not possible. So for this to happen, you need to know how to position your brand. You need to know how to tell your story in the right way. Let me give you an example of that. It's like creating a website. I deal with high-end and I want to create a website. I can't just create an ordinary website. The website has to speak luxury as well, because the product I'm selling on the site is luxury. So everything about the site has to speak luxury. My logo, my handle, the images, the story I'm telling, my content has to speak luxury. So it has to suit each other. It has to match. Same thing is like you're creating your social handles, your social media handles. It has to speak luxury as well, because I deal with luxury. So you can never economize on that, or else you won't be able to get your ideal customer. You need to put all the energy you put to make your brand, to make your design, has to be put into this as well, so that you can get your right audience. Moving on, please. Okay, so those are the 3 steps we're going to be talking about today for don'ts. And now we are moving on to the do's. So these are some things you can do for your brand to get to the next level. So I've broken it down to 6 steps. which I'm going to be covering now. So 6 steps to global visibility. Number 1, create a strong online presence. Just like I said, website, social media, and lookbook. So let me break this down. When we talk about website, just like I mentioned earlier, you are selling a luxury product. Your website has to speak luxury. Your social media handles has to speak luxury. Your lookbook has to be intact. You can't you can't sell a product worth £8,000 or £5,000 and producing a lookbook worth £5. That wouldn't match. Then another thing I want to emphasize on the lookbook. Lookbook, some people underestimate the power of lookbook. So let me give you a tip on how this works. Before you had your next collection, even if you are not going on the wrong way, because I think going on the wrong way is a key, but it shouldn't be done every time, to be honest. But when you are trying to bring your brand out, I think it's a necessity for you. Before you produce your collection at all, after producing your collection, before you go on the wrong way for your fashion show, your collection has to be ready at least 3 months before your fashion show. And within that 3 months of your fashion show, you need to make your lookbook. You need to create your lookbook, and your lookbook must be ready at least a month before your fashion show, because the fashion show are going to request for the lookbook before time to send out to press and to try to market as well, to advertise as well, so that the lookbook will be out there and people will be eager and anxious to see your design physically for the runway. And sometimes some press, after seeing the lookbook, even before the fashion show, sometimes they request, especially for new brand that they've not seen before or they've not heard before. Some press, if they're interested in your design, some press do request for for pieces of your design, maybe 1 or 2 pieces of your design, to see it physically before the runway, so that they can really match up what they are seeing on the lookbook magazine to hit physically, to see if what you are selling is actually the same as what you said you are selling. So that's another visibility for you. And after the runway, so lookbook has to be out before the runway. Then during the runway, the organizer of the fashion show are going to use it. It's going to be part of the goodie bags they're going to give to their invitees, stockies, and all that. Because sometimes their invitee might not even come, but they will send the goodie bag to them anyway. So once they have the goodie bag, they will be able to get your lookbook from the goodie bag and go through your design. And from there, you can get customers. You can get so many people that will be aware of your brand. Then after the show again, you have the responsibility to take your lookbook out there. You can share your lookbook anyway. You could be shared online, it could be shared digitally, and it could be shared in print. You might assign some people to take it around to share it, or you take it to events that you know suits your brand to share it around. So lookbook is very important when it comes to making your brand or your collection visible for people. So I'm going to move on to the second step, which is, sorry, my screen is kind of blocking it, so I need to move it a little bit. No, Victoria, you're too fast now. I think you move forward. Yeah, okay. Identify your customers, connect and build relationship with them. Once you've been able to identify your customers, you need to connect and build a relationship with them. This is very important. Like when you have it depends on how you identify them. Let me use myself as an example. I have some customer, because I do e-commerce, I sell online as well. So if they buy online, I have a box space that I do get their information from, which I do advise them to write their information there. So we do check in, myself and my team do check in on them weekly, like sending them a thank you email, or just wishing them a very beautiful and profitable week ahead. This is how you connect with them. You need to be in their faces. You need to let them know you are still there. You need to let them know you see exist. So, and the only way you could do this is to try to keep in touch with them. And in any way you think you know how to keep in touch. Some don't mind you sending them a regular message. It depends on the kind of customer you have. And some appreciate their privacy. So instead of you bombarding them with messaging on their phone, you can send them emails, which I think is professional enough. So you need to keep up to date with them by sharing your new collection, what you are planning next, what your brand is planning next, when your event is coming next, when you have your next fashion show, or what to expect about your next design. Sometimes even send them some review about your brand. This is what you are planning. Let them have a say in it. Tell them to give you feedback on it, or just to let them interact. Tell them their contribution will be appreciated. They should just write what they think about it and mail it back to you. Some will reply and some won't reply, but this is how you connect with them. Then after connecting with them, you need to build your relationship with them by keeping up to date with them, just like I said, like checking on them regularly, wishing them a very beautiful week, or if it's Christmas time, try to package a Christmas goodie for them, or any festive period. It could be a pen, it could be a magazine. You don't have to go out of your way. You don't have to make something so expensive to go out of your way. It's just the gesture behind it that is very important. So this is how you keep the relationship with them. Then number 3, sorry, I need to keep moving my screen. Okay, select fashion shows to showcase that suits your brand. This is another key point. Just like I said, I'm going to use my brand for an example again. I deal with high-end brand. I can go on a fashion show that is lesser than my brand. It won't give me any productivity. I need to go for a higher fashion show that suits my brand. And this is how you know a fashion show that suits your brand. When you are applying, like, I would say my brand have been fortunate enough not to really go out there to apply for fashion shows. We get invite. So when you get invite for fashion shows, make sure you research on the fashion show first before even replying them if you're interested or not. Make your research, a full research about the fashion show, what they've done so far, how long they've been showcasing, what they've achieved, and the designers that have shown, the brand that have shown with them, what have they gained, and also the level of the kind of designer they bring on board, the kind of brand they bring on board to showcase with them. Does it match your own brand? Does it suit your brand and all that? Then their audience is very important as well. You need to investigate on their audience. What kind of audience do they normally have at the fashion show? Do they have stockists? Do they have fashion buyers? What kind of press do they have? Do they have press that really suiting your brand? You need to make all this research, then weigh it together to know if this suits your brand or not. Don't just go on any fashion shows that doesn't suit your brand just because you want to get your brand out there, or just because you want to be on the wrong way. No, it's just a waste of time and you're not going to get anything. out of it. No return will come out of it. Rather, it's going to diminish your brand, which you don't want. Then another thing about this is, if you have a fashion show or a runway that you think matches your brand and they didn't send you an invite, there's no harm in you sending them an email and telling them that you want to showcase on their platform because you think their platform fitting your brand. And if they deny your application, that you are not good enough or your brand is not good enough, please don't take that too seriously and don't take it personally. Go back and work on your brand. Go back and work on your product. It might even be your product, it's good, but if you don't position your brand properly, they are not going to accept you. They are going to deny you. So that was why I said positioning too is very important. You might have a good product, but because you are not positioning the product very well, they won't want to associate with you. So you need to position your brand properly. You need to you need to work properly on your product, and you need to tell your story right. So if you get a no for an answer the first time, please do not give up. Keep pushing. Go back and work on what. Ask them question why they said no. Some will tell you, and some will not tell you. So if you're lucky enough for you to get the reason why they said no, please do go back and work on that and make it perfect. Even if you can't get perfect, make it right again, at least to some extent, for you to be qualified to get on the platform. So do not take it personal if they say no. Just keep pushing, keep knocking that door. You might apply for maybe 3-4 times before they said, okay, you can come on board. Now you can come and showcase. So do not give up if you get a no for an answer for the first time. Keep pushing and keep asking them. So number 4, Victoria, you need to move on now. Okay. Running ad before and after any fashion show. Just like I said about the lookbook, you need to run ad at least minimum of 2 months before your fashion show. Your product has to be there. Of course, you can't showcase all your products in your ad. At least maybe 2-3 pieces of your product, of your design, has to be in people's faces. That this is what you are showcasing, and this is where you are showcasing. The hype has to be there. The buzz has to be there before you showcase. They need people. You need to get people to be anxious. You need to get them to be eager. Anyhow, you know. And again, running the adverts too, you need to target your right audience. You can't just run advert for and just any people, any individual that you know you are not going to benefit from. That's not possible. So when you're running adverts, you need to have a target audience that you are going to run the advert through and that you want to attract. So that's where you're going to focus. That's where you're going to target. Just don't waste your money on running adverts that you want everybody to see. No, you need to have a target audience. You need to run at least minimum of 2 months before your show. It has to be on their faces. Then during the show, you need to do that as well. Then after the show, to get enough visibility, because some people might not be at the show, but they want to see after the show as well. So you could run it online. It could be print, it could be magazine, it could be newspaper, it could be website, it could be it could be your local newspaper. Don't underestimate any power of press. It could be your local newspaper. It could be your social media handle, but try to run before, at least 2 months before, during, then after. Then number 5, share a press release with local press and journalists about your brand. Like I said earlier, it could be the power, maybe your magic is within your local press newspaper. You will never know until you try it. So you need to make a press release. And I hope people understand what press release is all about. Press release is about your collection that you want to showcase, the story behind it, how you came about the design, the fabric and accessory involved in the design, the story you are trying to tell about the design, what you want people to know about the story or the design, and what impact are you actually making with the collection. This has to be included in all your press release. Then your contact details. all your contact details has to be included. Social media, website, phone number that they can reach you with. You need to include all that. So that's all that about the press release. Then the last one, which is, sorry, I need to move my screen again. This is all about celebrity gifting and influencer. You don't necessarily need to do this, but I would say do it anyway, especially for new brand that is not yet out there. You need celebrities or brand influencers to be able to get at least a little bit of visibility, if not much. It depends on the kind of brand you have. Some it helps, some it's just maybe a minor fraction of it up, but I would say do it anyway. It's very, even the big brand that there are still using celebrity influencer. A Chanel still use celebrity influencer. Gucci still use celebrity influencer or just ordinary influencer to get their brand out there. They use this regularly. But like I said, it's not a necessity, but I would advise you do it anyway. But you have to be very, very cautious on how you're going to choose your influencer. It could be a celebrity, it could be just brand influencer, but you have to be very, very cautious, and you have to negotiate well with them, because some celebrity or some brand influencer are just, I don't know, they just have attitude problem. I've been there, I know it, but you need to make it, you need to make it sound of what you are trying to get off them. And this has to be in writing, and they need to sign, and you need to emphasize on what you want. Because if you don't do this, some celebrity, I don't know, just like I had, I think I've only experienced once, and I didn't do that again. The mistake I did, I was just using word of mouth. We negotiated on word of mouth, which at the end of the day, I didn't like the outcome of it, because what I expected, I think I expected like maybe 99% of what the celebrity did, but she delivered like 10% of it. But because we don't have it on record, I couldn't really argue it much, so I just had to let it go. So that's a very big experience. So emphasize on what you really, 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 really want from them, and put it on record, and it has to be signed. And you have to be very, very careful on the kind of celebrity you are using for your brand. And you don't want any celebrity or brand influencer with negative press, because it's going to affect your brand as well. You might think, some people said, oh, both negative press and positive brand press works. No, it depends on what you want. If you don't mind your brand associating with negative press, then you go for it. But if you do mind, and you don't want your brand to associate with negative press, please do not go for it, because these are all the qualities some big brand that wants to work with you in the future check, that actually affects you. Because like I said, within the 5 years period that we've launched, we've been able to collaborate with Aston Martin, which is a high-end luxury cars. We've been able to collaborate with some top fashion shows here in the UK. We've featured in Vogue, Glamour magazine, and all that top magazine, name it. But we've been able to achieve that because we try to avoid any negative press. You might say some people don't look into that, but they do actually look into that. So be careful on the kind of celebrity or brand influencer you work with. So that's it for that. Moving forward, next page, Victoria. So it's same thing that I've been saying. Visibility. No, move forward to the visibility, please. Yeah, without a visibility, even the greatest fashion designer will go unnoticed. It's very, very important that your brand is visible, that is out there, is on their faces every time. Any way you could create a content or you could create an ad for your brand to be in people's faces, please do go for it. As long as you're not doing it the wrong way and as long as you're not attracting the wrong people, please go for it. Next page. So right now, do you want your breakthrough in the luxury fashion industry or in the fashion industry? Please, I need to know before moving on. Do you want a breakthrough? Do you want to learn how you can break into the global audience, the global fashion industry? Please give me a thumbs up in the chat box below. Let me know if you want your breakthrough, if you are ready for the next level, if you are ready to take your brand to the next level, if you are ready to take it globally. If you want that visibility, please let me know. Give me a thumbs up in the chat box below. Victoria, please could you check that for me? Yeah, I can see 1, 2. Yeah. Go on. Okay, now we can move on. Next page, please.
Yes.
All right. Before we do that, I need to recap back on what we've discussed so far. So we've been able to cover why you need a signature team, creative direction, and strong design to set you apart. And stop being just an ordinary fashion designer or just an ordinary clothing brand. 2, why you need to understand the high-end fashion industry, just the general fashion industry. To be honest, it doesn't need to be high-end. So I would say why you need to understand the fashion industry and your place in it to break into the market. Then 3, sorry, I need to move mine. Yeah. The 6-step strategy on getting visibility and building an audience so you can get booked and noticed by top fashion magazines, stockies, high-end fashion buyers. So we've been able to cover this, and I think I've given a good tip so far. But if you think otherwise, or you think I've done a good job so far, I've given you a very good tips that could help your brand or that could help you set up your fashion brand in the right direction, please give me a thumbs up in the box below. I need to know I'm doing a good job before I can move on. Good. Oh, thank you, everyone. I appreciate that. So now we're moving on. Because of our time, so let's just get this started to the next level. Are you guys ready to go to the next level we made? Do you want to learn more we made? Because there are so many do's and don'ts in the fashion industry that you need to know before starting your brand. Or if you're in the process already and you are struggling with it, there are so many do's and don'ts you need to know. Or if you are in the industry already, you still making some hands made, but you want to go global, there are still some do's and don'ts you need to know to cut. It took me some years to get to where I am, but I want to make it shorter for you. What I achieved within 5 years, you could achieve it in 2 years or even 1 year if you are on the right direction or you have the right people to mentor you around. So I'm ready to do that for you now, but I need to know if you are ready to do that for yourself. Are you guys ready to take it to the next level? Do you want to learn? Do you want to go to the next level with me with my course? Oh, all right, good. Ready. I can say that. Okay, next page, Victoria, please. All right, before that, I need to brag a little bit about what we've been able to achieve. I've mentioned it earlier, but I need to show you some proof of what we've been able to achieve. These are just part of it. This is not everything. But let me just go on by showing you this. This is our design here on the MTV Europe Award. I think this was done in November, October. I can't remember the exact date. And this dress is worn by one of their top artists from Mexico. Yeah, I think, yeah, from Mexico. And she was the host of the MTV Europe Award. So the dress wasn't worn just by an ordinary invitee. She was the host. So the dress was seen everywhere globally. As you all know, MTV Europe Award is huge. So this is one of our dress. And this is another one on Coachella stage. Coachella is the biggest music festival in America and is covered worldwide. So our dress was seen there as well. And this is our feature on Vogue magazine. This one is from the just concluded NAACP award, which is the Black Oscar in America. So this one is huge. It's just similar to Oscar. And this is a cover magazine that we got, I think, a few months ago. QP magazine is a very big magazine in America. And this is our design again, won by Drea Michelle. I guess everybody knows Drea Michelle. She's an Hollywood actress. And this is one of the pictures from the our runway with our collaboration with Aston Martin's motto. And this is another picture from the Aston Martin motto as well. So, pardon me for bragging, but I just need to show you some evidence. So moving forward, girl. So here is how you can work with me if you want to take your brand to the next level. Myself and my team and myself have we set up a program titled the Unstoppable Fashionista Program, which we are going to start on the 4th of April next month, 2020. So if you want to join this program, these are the things we are going to be covering. I think we have a lot to cover, to be honest, but we've tried to break it down into 4 modules. So the first module will be inside the high-end fashion industry, or just inside the fashion industry, how to understand the luxury fashion industry and find your place in it. It might not be a luxury fashion, it might be just ordinary fashion. So, but how to understand the fashion industry generally and find your place in it. And breaking that down, first step, how the luxury fashion industry works and how to find your place in it. 2, what fashion means to you. It could be fashion, a passion, or an art. You need to identify that yourself, and we will help you in identifying that. If fashion to you is your passion or an art, and how you can turn that around to be a product. Your definition of fashion, with example, what are your styles? What's your personal style like? And why do you want to be a designer? That's very important. Also, number 3, the importance of being true to yourself, originality. Understanding the luxury fashion industry as an insider. You need to know how to be original. Number 4, learn what luxury fashion means, art or timeless. If you are going to, let me quickly say this, if you are going to the luxury industry, this is not something you can escape. It's a must, it's a necessity. Your design has to be art and timeless, because the high-end fashion industry tends to believe in artistic. So everything about your design or your brand has to be artistic. So you need to learn how to do that and how your brand vision fits within the luxury fashion world. Number 5, what impact can you make in the high-end fashion industry? The learn would discover and define your luxury brand identity. So what impact can you make in the fashion industry generally? It doesn't have to be a luxury industry. What impact can you make? And this impact is going to help you to define your brand identity, because your brand needs an identity. It's a must. You have to have a brand identity. Second module, please. Okay. From bland to brand, building your brand DNA. Your brand needs to have a DNA. How to create your dream 7-star high-end fashion brand that attract top celebrity stylists and fashion publications such as Vogue and many more. don't get this twisted. You don't have to be in the luxury fashion brand for you to get top celebrity stylists. Designers to wear just casual dresses, because if they are not on the red carpet or going to any high event, I tell you, they don't go for the high end, they go for just the casual one. So this works for both luxury and the casual industry. So it's a general for fashion brand. So how you can take your bland brand to a real recognized brand that celebrity will go for. It's going to be like a go-to for celebrity stylists and top big fashion magazine as well. So the breaking down of these are: one, the top three secrets requires to create your luxury fashion brand: creative direction, design, and signature look that I mentioned earlier. So we're going to go deep into this, what you should do about this and what you shouldn't do about it. Then to brand authentication, very important. It's all about originality as well. You have to be authentic. You have to be your own self. You have to be your own voice. You have to be able to demonstrate your brand, meaning what the uniqueness of your brand and what does it stand for. Yeah, you have to be able to demonstrate what your brand stands for. How to create your brand signature theme that remains consistent through all your design. Developing your brand message that translates through all marketing channels, e.g. logos, portfolios, social media, and website. All this need to match. So these are all the things we are going to be teaching you and helping you, not only teaching, helping you to achieve. So module number 3, please. Production mastering, the secret steps to producing and crafting your own fashion collection. This right here is very important because your collection, your design can't just be crafted by just an ordinary, maybe just an ordinary tailor, or just you just want to put this together to show the world that here you are doing something. Please don't do that. You need to get the right thing, and we are here to do that for you. We are going to introduce you. We're going to connect you with the right production team that suits your brand, depending on what you want to do. It could be accessory, it could be shoe, it could be handbag, it could be jewelries, it could be just casual dresses or outfit. It could be pajamas. It could be anything. It could be lingerie. It could be swimwear. Anything that you want to do, you have passion for, that you want to do. We are going to get you, the production team, to put that together for you, and you are going to be working with them. They are not going to suggest what they are going to do for you. You are going to suggest to them what you want them to do. The only difference there is that they are experts. So they will be able to bring the product, the finishing product out right. So we'll be providing guidance, introduction, and network for your next luxury collection, creating a shape and silhouette. The shape and silhouette of your garment can be a very important part of your communicating the message to what you want your design to look like. Therefore, how to source the suitable fabrics, materials, and accessories for your production, that we are going to put you to teach you how to do all that. If you want to do it yourself, or you want the production team to do it for you, depending on what you want, it's your choice. Or you want to work together with the production team to source this together, that's your choice. But we are going to be giving you guidance and show you and introduce you to the right production team to do that for you. Then creating a signature look that resonates with your brand vision. Yeah, your collection must go in hand, must match your brand vision. Creating an artistic and timeless storytelling collection. I think I've mentioned this earlier. This is just you turning a concept, a story, into a product. So behind every collection, there must be a story that you are going to create and turn it into products. That's what designer do. That was why I was saying there's a difference. Okay, sorry, I mentioned that to Jennifer earlier. There's difference between tailor and designer. Designers are the people that's going to create the story and turn the story into a product, but tailors are there to make the product suitable for the audience. And module number 4, a luxury collection that leads to sales. How to effectively brand your collection to attract the right target audience and discover some hidden marketing ideas. So I think this is what we are talking about, because you need to be able to identify to make a very good, effective collection. Then you need to be able to identify your target audience, and you need to, after identifying them, you need to be able to attract them. So we are going to be showing you how you can attract, because one thing is for you to identify. Identify is knowing them, but how can you attract them after knowing them? So we are going to be showing you and giving you the tips on how to attract them to make sales. So 1, learn how to identify gaps in product offering and ways to measure up your competition. Learn how to identify your consumers, connect and build relationship with them. I've mentioned that earlier. Brand loyalty depends on how deeply your consumers value your brand, which is very important. You need to be loyal with your customers. Your brands depend on the relationship you have with your customers, your client depends on your loyalty. You need to be transparent, you need to be loyal. An example of loyalty is you can sell your product must not be lesser than what you say you are selling. Your product must match with what you said you are actually producing or providing for them. So then learn how to create and carve your niche. Learn how to pitch stockists and fashion buyers. We're going to be showing you how to actually pitch to stockists and fashion buyers that are going to buy and stock your product in stores. Learn how to identify and select the right suitable fashion show for your brand. I think I've analyzed that earlier. No matter how the price tag is, please do not be discouraged about that. That is too high. You can't afford that. If you can't afford it this year, please save towards it. Next year, yeah, you can afford it. Don't be discouraged about the price tag. If is the suitable fashion runway for you, please, I will advise you to save your money instead of going for a lower one or a cheaper one that won't get you anywhere. Please do not make that mistake with your brand, because it's very, very important. That's about positioning. You need to position your brand well. It's the way you position. It's just like a saying that says, the way you position yourself, that's how people will take you. So this applies to your brand as well. It's the way you position your brand. That's how people is going to take the brand. So the right fashion show that suits your brand is very important. Then I've said that, learn how to pitch to your stockists, learn how to identify your brand. Last one, learn how to carefully select brands to collaborate with that can drive your brand growth and avoiding pitfall. Very important as well. That was why I said you need to avoid celebrity or brand influencer with negative press. No responsible brand or good brand in the quote. We want to associate or collaborate with you. If you associate yourself with influencer or celebrity with negative press. So please do try to avoid that. Next page, please. Okay, so that's what we will be covering for the Unstoppable Fashionista program. But this is what you're going to get now. You are getting the complete Unstoppable Fashionista course. 1, this includes 4 modules of personal life training, which I just read through now with me via Zoom. We're starting this on the 4th of April 2020. which is next month, I think few weeks away. You will be getting live power game changing information on how to apply each step of the framework to build your luxury or just general fashion collection and become more visible. We'll be working with you on that. We will also have question and answer session and replay will be available on demand viewing. Of course, anything we cover online through the Zoom video, we're going to send you a copy of it so that you can have the replay and go back to it in case you get confused or in case you can't remember anything we said. So you're going to have the replay and go back to it so you could put that into practice. Next page, please. Another thing you're going to get inside the high-end fashion industry, how to understand the luxury industry and find your place in it. Yes, we've said that. This is actually the value, $1,997. But we are not going to be selling that to you right now because this is the worth of what we'll be giving you. But this is not what we are requesting for right now because we really want people, especially Black female, to fill in the high-end fashion industry or generally the fashion industry to compete with the Western fashion brand as well, because I think we don't have much, especially from African descent, we don't have much Black female competing with them. And I think it's high time we go out there and show them what we've got. We go out there and tell them that we can do it. If they can do it, we can do it as well. So I think it's African time now. So we need to be able to stand and fit in the place as well. So, two, from what you're going to get, you'll be able to take your brand from blood to brand, and you'll be able to build your home brand DNA. You'll be able to create your dream 7-star high-end fashion brand that attract top celebrity, stylists, fashion publications such as Vogue and many. Again, this is the worth, but that's not what we are giving you right now. This module worth $1,997, but that's not what we are giving you right now. So don't be scared. Production mastering worth $1,997 as well. A luxury collection that leads to sales worth $1,997 as well. But that's not the price we are giving it away today because we are actually having a discount today. Next page, please. Okay, the 4 module that I just broke down for you. The 4 personal live training session with me worth £4,000 because that's how I charge for my training. But we are not selling it to you for $4,000. Sorry, dollars, not pound. $4,000 today. And then you'll be getting, okay, I think that's it for now. Okay, you'll be getting live. Can you come back to that, Victoria, please? You'll be getting live power game-changing information on how to apply each step of the framework to build your luxury fashion collection and become a celebrity fashion designer. Then live question and answer session and replay will be available on demand viewing. That's it. So that's all you'll be getting. But to register for this, just go on www.lbhealthmasterclass.com. So you're going to book a call. And if you don't know how to do this, my manager is just right here. It's just 1 second away, not even 1 minute, 1 second away to put you through to book a call for that right now. So I'm going to pass it. But before I pass it on to Victoria, my manager, to help you with the book calling, and if you have any question or anything you need to ask about the training, you can direct that to Victoria. But before I do that, please, I need to know if I've given you a very good tips today on how to build your brand or how to take your brand to the next level. Have I done a good job so far, please? I need a thumbs up in the chat box. Yes.
Great. And how many people want to do the course?
Thank you so much. Victoria, over to you. And thank you guys for joining in. I really appreciate it. Thank you. So Victoria, please take it over.
Yeah, so thank you guys, and thank you so much, Faye. You did really, really well. That was really insightful. It would be good to know who's on the call right now, who wants to do the course and who wants to be a participant. If you do, let's book a call in. You'll be speaking with myself and I can go through costs and what's involved. Gina says, "What looks too high?" What does that mean? You'll be surprised actually that this course is very, very reasonable, and we made it so that everybody can participate in it. But we need to know that it's going to be right for you. It's not everybody that we're actually going to accept into the program, which is why we want to have the call to make sure that it's a right fit for you, that you're going to actually get the results and value, because Faye is about results. This group, you guys are going to go from where you are, whether it's just starting or you're not selling very much or you're not very known, to actually becoming somebody who's getting known or getting the exposure, even just being linked to Faye, even just by her sharing, you know, or her, people knowing that you're part of the group is good exposure. There's a network, there's myself, there's so many things. So you will move from where the level that you are to that next level, and we want to make sure that you have the capability and you're the right person to do that. And I'm pretty certain that most of you that have taken the time to be on this call and taken your time shows your commitment, shows your dedication, shows that you are able and willing and want this. So we want to hear from you. You know, we want to hear from you guys. And we
sorry, I need to add this, Victoria. And sorry, guys, don't be scared about the price tag I just showed you or I just mentioned. We are not going to be selling it for you for that kind of price. So be free to talk to Victoria on what you can afford. So we take it from there, or any payment plan. So be free to let her know what you can afford and your payment plan. So thank you.
Thank you. So that is it. So yeah, guys, I mean, Faye did really, really well. I just want to know by show of hands if you want to join, so I know who to follow up and speak with. So if you could just let me know. I have put the call link on the page, so let me know if you can get onto that. But who's still on the call, if you could just pop your comment saying yes, that you'd like to join, so we can make that happen. And then if you can see in the chat, I have put in a link where you can book a call with myself and we can go through the program, what's involved and what you can expect as well. So just let me know who would like to do that.
All right then, Victoria, I'm going to leave you to eat.
Fantastic. Well, thank you once again.
All right then.
Thank you, everybody. And yes, we will obviously.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Then I'll be expecting your feedback back from Victoria. So speak to you soon, hopefully in April. Bye, guys.
Bye. Bye.